Hi, I'm Becky,
Hi, I'm Ray,
and welcome to our brand new podcast,
the Unhinged Girl Diaries,
where we'll be talking about everything from modelling and social media
to OnlyFans and our non-existent relationships.
Ooh. So join us every week on Spotify and YouTube,
For an insight into our Unhinged Diaries.
and we'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Ray,
Hi, I'm Becky,
and this is the Unhinged Girl Diaries.
where we will be talking about the unhinged life that we have been leading up to this moment.
Yes, this is going to be a very unhinged pod episode also. We're going to be talking all things whores, sluts.
Bloody hell, straight in. We're going to be basically talking about OnlyFans and our experiences and our lives and the reactions and the perceptions and everything around OnlyFans and what girls go through when they have it, because it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I feel like this episode might be quite long. So sit back, get a cup of tea.
Get a cup of tea, bab.
Make yourself some dinner if you're hungry, might as well. Treat yourself and sit back and enjoy, because this is going to get juicy.
It's going to get so juicy.
So juicy.
Oh my god.
We need to stop. So, yes, we are talking about OnlyFans, and I am so excited for this episode because I feel like I've got so much to say about the
So
whole
much.
world of it.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing OnlyFans now for 4 years, and I've been uploading once a day, not trying to self-promote myself. But I have been doing it for a long time.
You've been killing it.
Thank you. But I also feel like I've I've gone through a lot of stuff with OnlyFans and stalkers and relationships breaking down because of it and people just not being very nice because of it. So I'm so excited for this episode. I feel like I've got so much to say. When did you start OnlyFans?
I did start it quite a while ago, but I've just been on and off it. So I started it probably about 4 years ago as well.
Oh God, because I thought you only started it recently for
No.
some reason. I don't know why.
I just didn't promote it. I didn't push it. I had it as a little side hustle, maybe towards the end of like lockdown. And then while I was doing other jobs, I set one up because I was posting like underwear pics and stuff like that on Instagram. And like, I was kind of like, I might as well post these on here and get paid for it instead. So,
Oh yeah,
so
100%.
yeah, so that's why I started doing it. But I was very off and on, and I was in a relationship, and he was supportive of it. That wasn't a problem. I just didn't really vibe it whilst I was in the relationship. I was kind of like, I don't know, I feel a bit icky. I just didn't, do you know what I mean? So I didn't push it, and I didn't really promote it anywhere until this year.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why I feel like you started it so much later, because obviously you wasn't pushing it and you weren't promoting it. So, of course, I wasn't going to be able to really see it.
Yeah, no, literally.
So-
I put it maybe now and then like, oh yeah, go sub to this. But I didn't have it as a big platform. But now it is a huge part of my life, and it's what I do daily. So
Wow. So shall we start with how we both got into it? What sort of led us up to signing up?
yeah.
And then some people's first reactions, because I feel like this is going to get really, really juicy, especially on my part as well.
Yeah, you go first, because I feel like yours is going to be way more interesting than mine anyway. Because
So
mine's
much.
been so much this year, it is all still quite fresh. So like, yeah, but obviously you started, what, four years ago, you said properly?
4 years ago. So I had just come out of a relationship, and I was not well mentally. Like, I was so depressed, and I was working 2 different jobs, both that I just hated. Like, oh my God, I hated them so, so much. And I took a week off work. I got diagnosed with depression again. It's become a yearly thing at this point. It hasn't been for 3 years, I think. I've been 3 years all recovered.
You met me.
But 3 years I've been all good. But back at this time, I was really, really severely depressed. I was really unwell. And I had to take a week off work because I needed more than a fucking week. But at this point, it was only a week. So in that week, I used to get paid weekly. So if I took a week off work, that's it. I wasn't going to get any money for a week.
Yeah.
And in that week, I was like seeing all these girls starting OnlyFans, and at the time I was modelling as well. So I was doing sort of lingerie shoots and maybe getting a bit more provocative on my timeline. And yeah, so when I started it was mainly just to get a bit of extra money because I was off work because of being ill. And then as well, probably the same as you, I was doing these shoots and it just made sense just to like put some of the stuff behind a paywall, because I was doing some more like implied nude stuff. So I wasn't showing anything, but obviously it looked like I didn't have anything on. So I thought, you know what, paywall sorted, great.
Yeah.
And as well, a lot of lingerie shoots that I was doing, like it was see-through.
Yeah.
So like I was essentially just putting my nipple on Instagram for free.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it. And you know what, right? It blew up. Not blew up as in like I was making a lot of money, because I did make a bit of money that first week. I was like, what the fuck? As soon as
it's so fresh and yeah.
And I was used to sort of minimum wage jobs.
Yeah.
So when I saw the money rolling in, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What is this? What is going on? I think in the first week of starting it, I made $1,000, which if you talk to some really, really big OnlyFans girls, $1,000 is like
nothing.
an hourly wage for them, essentially.
But when you first start,
it was huge, and I was like, what the fuck? Like someone who was used to being on like £140 a week, working full time, draining myself mentally and physically, and just not being very well. It was like a massive like, oh my God, I got $1,000.
That's like nearly all your bills, maybe, like just done in a week.
I was living at home as well.
Oh, perfect.
So I was paying my mom. I think I was paying my parents like $250 a month. Yeah. So that was literally $1,000 in my account, and I was like, what the hell? That is insane. Yeah. So yeah, like that's why I probably continued it, because I was like, whoa, money. And yeah, it kind of just all blew up, like relationships, and well, not relationships, more like friendships and sort of personal relationships with family as well, because my parents weren't very happy about it, and I think they'll be able to they'll be like, yeah, that's fine, you can talk about it on the pod. They weren't happy with it. I think the only reason they really didn't want me doing it was because it was under their roof. They were like, it's our house, our rules, we don't want you to be doing this sort of stuff. And at the very beginning, it was so tame. Like I was just posting shoot pictures and lingerie pictures. It's not even, that was it. And it was okay. And it got to the point where I had to show my parents my OnlyFans. Like I literally sat them down and I was like, this is what I'm posting. And they were like, oh, is that it? I was like, yeah.
I'm just being clever about it.
I think the main issue stemmed from my siblings, because one of my brothers wasn't happy about it at all, and he was the one pushing my parents like, you can't let her do this is awful, she can't do this. Like me and my brother fell out about it, and we didn't speak for about 2 years.
No way.
So it's only recently we've like, you know, reconciled, and we're all okay now, but at the time it was like it was a bomb in the household. Like I got made to feel so uncomfortable. And I shouldn't have, because I just finished uni as well. I just graduated, and I did like an amazing job at uni. I didn't even think I was going to get to university. And yeah, it should be a really happy time in my life. And it just got plagued by like feeling really uncomfortable. Yeah. And I was like, well, it's my body. If I want to do it, then really you don't have to like it. You don't have to support it. All I ask for you is just to respect me. Yeah. Let me do what I want to do. I'm a fully grown adult. I think at this time I was 22 as well. So I was just like, just let me do what I want to do. I know what I'm doing. I feel safe. I feel happy. And you don't have to support it, but I just have to just respect me.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So then after that, basically it all just blew up. And I had, my ex at the time as well, he was sort of feeding shit into my ear. He was like, you don't need them. You should just move in with me. They're awful. They should be supporting you through this. Like just feeding stuff into my ear, like just, just digging. And at that point, like, because I was already mentally unstable, I was like, I don't need my parents. They are holding me back. They are the worst people ever in the world. Moved in with him. And then it obviously all went tits up. Ended up being homeless. But because I had OnlyFans, that was there to fall back on. Yeah. So I was able to move out then and get my own place. Yeah. So it all sort of snowballed. And it took me a while to sort of build that relationship back up. But now, honestly, my parents are probably my biggest fans. Yes, they're not subscribed. Thank you, before anyone says. But they're happy. They're happy that I'm happy. They're happy that I'm safe. They're happy that I'm loved. Yeah. And they're there anyway. Like their door's always open if I ever need to, like, reach out to them or something. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, the relationship with us now, it's really, really healthy. My brother's completely supportive, especially because they love Christmas, because they love me getting them stuff. Yeah. That's probably one of the biggest reasons.
They're like,
as
well. Do you know what? This benefits us.
Yes,
actually,
exactly.
Go do your thing. Bring in the money and buy me a PS5.
Yeah, literally. So that's probably why they're a bit more understanding, especially my younger brother as well, because he was benefiting from it a lot. Yeah. But yeah, so that's probably like my sort of starting OF story. What about you then? So what made you start, and what was like the reactions, I
Do
guess?
you know what? Like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's kind of two parts of this. So if we go back to when I first kind of started it, it was actually my ex and his mom that were like, you might as well do this because like I think I saw a few people, maybe I even saw you were doing it, and I saw friends were doing it, and I was like, fuck it, I might as well give this a go. But I was a bit conscious and like, oh, am I gonna have a name for myself if I do this? Like, and yeah, my ex and his mom were actually just a bit like, you might as well get paid for posting your like underwear photos or whatever. And I mean, I was still quite fresh into like doing lingerie modeling and things, so I was like cautious of posting on Instagram anyway. But then obviously Instagram have got stricter as well over the years, so it's actually hard to post this sort of stuff anyway. So I was like, do you know what, yeah, I'm gonna post a little bit less of this on my feed and set up an OnlyFans. And just, I wasn't even looking at it as like a career or anything like that to start off with. I was simply looking for a bit of extra cash just to keep me going, do you know what I mean? And that's all it was, on and off for many years. I went through phases. I'd do a few months of really pushing it, really doing it, and then I'd just come off it for a while, and then it was like I'd lose loads of subs and whatever on it, and it was very much that up until this year. And I'd say probably more reactions are now because I'm pushing it so much since I guess since breaking up with my ex, really, because it was just another way of me being financially stable, I guess.
Yeah, financially independent as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I haven't really spoke to a lot of people about it because I don't really have that many. My family know I did it, but I didn't come around and be like, oh, by the way, I'm doing OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's more like they found out over time. Yeah, and they might see something on social media.
Exactly, because the people in my family that I've kind of, I guess, got left, like they're all on social media, so they see me posting about it. So that's, I guess, how they found out. And I've spoken to a couple of like my sister-in-laws and stuff, and nobody cares that I do it. They're like, do you know, you go do that. Like, if that's earning you money, like, fucking fair play. Do you know what I mean? And like, I feel like my brothers probably think different. And my brothers, when I first started doing underwear and like implied nude and stuff like that, we did have a little bit of a fallout about it because I never did anything that wasn't like classy, but to them, it was their little sister naked on their screen. And I was like, if you don't like it, just unfollow me, don't look at it, because this is what I'm doing. And as much as I appreciate what you're saying, I am still an independent grown woman. And yeah, it's just one of those, don't come and tell me you don't like it, just unfollow my page. It's not a problem.
So yeah, that sort of reminds me of the conversations that me and my brothers had when I first started, especially I don't even think it was starting OnlyFans. I think it was more just starting lingerie modeling that this issue arose.
That was, same.
Yeah, because obviously my brother, lad group chats, lad group chats are always sending screenshots and videos and everything into them. It's disgusting how they before even OnlyFans, I was sexualized. Yeah, so it got to the point where my brother was like, can you just block every single person I know from Instagram? And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I didn't really have an issue with it. Like, I'll block anyone my brothers want me to block because, again, they're my brothers and family comes before any random person on Instagram. But it was just like, but surely your friends should also respect that. They should respect you enough to respect your family.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are concerned about how your friends react to me says a lot more about your friends than it does about me.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
It's like, if say like your brother or your sister or someone starts an OnlyFans, I wouldn't then go to you and be like, they started no. Like, I wouldn't. No. It wouldn't be something that crossed my mind because it's none of my business. Yeah. It's like your family.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't pass that judgment upon any friend that I have.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But it was just weird because it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, you should respect them enough.
Yeah.
Not like to be able to respect their family as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, weird.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like, because I don't know how old your siblings are. Mine are a little bit older than me, so like we never really had that. Oh, their friends might know. I'm not really. I'm really close to my brothers, but I'm not close in that sort of way to kind of know their friends. So, and they wouldn't know me. And like on Facebook, I don't really post about it anyway. So, unless they really did a stalk, they probably wouldn't even know that my brother's sister does that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I never really had that side of it. It was just simply I started underwear modeling and my brothers didn't want to see it, which is completely fair. I do get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it hurt a little bit at the time because, as I said, I wasn't necessarily doing anything really like sexualized then. It was just, I think the first photo I did like that, there was a nude photo of me and I had a bed sheet and you could see my bum, but it was a really pretty photo.
I think I remember the photo that you're on about.
Yeah.
It was really nice. It was really like editorial.
It was
beautiful.
yeah, it was
great.
and that was the photo that kind of caused it. So because that was the photo, I was a bit like, oh, this is actually quite sad because I understand he doesn't want to see that, but at the same time I'm not like being sexualized in it, but it is what it is and I do get it. But I mean, yeah, I guess from that they saw my progress of like then working with underwear brands and stuff like that, and then I guess they kind of just don't really give a shit now. Like, I'm nearly 30 years old, I can do what I want. If they still don't have to see it if they don't want to. I'm not just throwing it in their face like, look at this naked photo of me.
You're not sending them a photo like, look at this.
Yeah, exactly. So we're way past it now, but and they know I do OnlyFans, and I'm pretty sure I actually spoke to my sister-in-law not that long ago about it, and we were having a proper heart-to-heart about it, and just saying how amazing it is and how much like I'm really pushing it right now and it's really helping me. And she was even saying they've spoken about me doing it, and it's kind of like it's so common now to do
so
that it's not
common.
even a weird topic anymore because it's helping a lot of people out. And there's so many different levels of OnlyFans started like Patreon. It's not even, we've only made it into this OnlyFans sexy girls thing because that's what it's now known as, because that's, I guess, the majority on there. But I mean, you can still have an OnlyFans and have it as just like a behind the scenes page and stuff. It's just not really known as that anymore.
No.
So it's just kind of been, I guess, sexualized because they're the type of people that are using it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't really know where I'm going with that. I'm just going on a little rant about it. But
yeah, like even now though, like I spoke to my dad recently about this. And at the time, he wasn't really putting his opinion in the conversation of like, you know, the group chat or whatever. But I spoke to him recently about it because we just went to the pet shop to buy my dog a new collar.
A lovely pet shop talk.
We love it. And we were just in the car and we just started chatting. He was like, do you think there's a market for a middle-aged man with a beer belly? And I was like, probably is.
Yeah.
He was like, honestly, if I was younger, I would have 100%. If I was a woman, I would 100% do it.
A lot of people say this to me as well. They're like, fair play. And I think that's, again, because it's so common now and it's not easy to make money on, but it's easy to make money on to a point. So it's like, so many people have said that, and it's
especially in like a living crisis, like the whole of the UK. We are the increased living costs at the moment. Like my electric bill has gone from £55 to £230.
Don't. Mine's like weekly at the moment, and a month or whatever ago, I was using maybe £15-20 a week on gas and electric. It's £50 a week now.
It's a joke, isn't it?
And I'm just there like, what am I? I'm not even doing anything extra, really. I've got the heating on a little bit more, and I'm maybe having a couple of extra baths to keep myself warm. But it's just ridiculous.
It is a joke, and I think if someone is going to come to you and complain that you do OF in this living crisis, I think they need to just turn around and not even give their opinion, because no one asked for it.
No
one asked for
exactly.
opinion.
No.
But have you had any like falling out with friends over OnlyFans or anything?
I don't think so.
Have you not?
I haven't, but let's be honest. I've said this in every episode. I've only just made friends. No. But no, like, I genuinely don't think I have. Like, no, but by your reaction, I want to hear the goss.
To be fair, it was probably only one friend. Only one friend. And we have recently made up, I think. We don't really speak. But yeah, it was just, at the time, everything was a bit too sensitive because this was fresh after my like parents and everything like that, and you know, moving into my first place. And I went out into like a bar thing, and this girl that I knew, like we were sat at the table and stuff, and we were sat in like quite a group where there was like 6 of us, and we must have been talking about it or like something related, and she was like, I don't think I could do that to my family. Like, about me starting OnlyFans, she was like, I just don't think I could do that to them.
to my family?
And I was there, and I was just like, that's a bit of a weird thing to say.
Yeah, that's not
like,
cool.
what do you mean? Do you think I've done something bad to my family?
Yeah, what's
like,
that done to them?
The whole thing just came a bit randomly, and I was just like, that's a bit rude. And we did have a falling out because I think I tweeted about it because everything was so fresh, and I was keeping track on who was being rude and who was being disrespectful and what people were saying about it as well, because it was all so very fresh, especially because it definitely wasn't as big as what it is now.
No.
100%. So I was keeping track, and I just tweeted about it, and like her friend had a massive go at me being like, how dare you say this? And I was like, but this is what she said.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying this to target her or anything. I'm just repeating, like, this is what someone told me today. Like, interesting thoughts, like, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like see what other people thought, and I found it interesting to see other people's opinions on it.
I don't know, that's a really weird comment. Like, what are you meant to, what are you supposedly doing to your family by doing I don't know. It's nothing to do with them. Like, that's such a weird comment.
It was, and it did kind of like hit me a little bit, because I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong to them, I don't think, you know. But yeah, no, we're okay now, and I think, well, I don't speak to her anyway, but again, it was 4 years ago. Yeah. So whenever I think back to people's opinions and thoughts, I'm just like, it was a long time ago. You know, times have changed. Hopefully they've changed their opinions as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just don't really realise as well, like, how full on this is. Yeah. Like, it's not just like we're just taking some pretty pictures and like posting them on a feed. Like, it is like a full-time job. Like, I am knackered at the moment from doing, like, you know how much I've been doing recently.
You've been smashing out recently.
And it's tiring. Like, daily I'm doing content, I'm answering messages and speaking to people, and people might be laughing at like right now, kind of going, yeah, but that's not a real job. And it's like, but it actually is. Like, it's hard work. I'm working sometimes until 2 a.m. on this. Like, it's not like I'm just prattling about, do you know what I mean? Like, the amount of content that we take, and it's not just that, it's the promo, it's the Instagram, and it's the actual business social media side of it. Yeah. And like, to be honest, I come from quite a business mind as well, so it's taking that and turning it into you and turning it into your branding, and like, you're the same, you have so many different like revenues of income and things that you do, and so to look at these OnlyFans girls and just think we're just some pretty chick that's just getting our tits out for money.
Taking the easy way.
We are, but but there's a lot more to it. And I think that's why this is so interesting that we're doing this podcast, because it's nice to show people the other side of us, and like, that we're not just in our bedroom just stripping off for 5 minutes and then sending some nudes. Like, that's not actually what it is.
Yeah, that's the day work. Like, imagine if it was.
Yeah.
How much easier
that'd be great. I'd actually really appreciate if that was the case.
But also the other thing that comes with OnlyFans, like, it's good paying, whatever, good paying job if you get it right and if you're promoting it and stuff. Yeah. But it's also like, what if it doesn't do well? The cons that come with this job as well is, well, I want to say it's like nearly neck and neck with the pros of it. Yeah. Because with the pros, obviously, you get the freedom, you get like a bit more financial stability and all this stuff. But the stalkers, the trolls, the hate, like, that sort of, it sort of balances it out.
Yeah. I mean, but you say the stability, if you're ill, then if you haven't planned and done your content and stuff, you could be pretty fucked for a while. So I'd probably say more like the financial independent. Yeah. Like, the stability is still quite scary sometimes, because like, you were ill a few weeks ago, and it's like, luckily you'd obviously done some nice photo shoots and things like that, so you still had stuff to post. But like, if you're ill and you can't be replying to your messages and actually be constant on your socials, you are not going to grow, and that really can fuck you up. Because
if you take 2 weeks off, people are going to forget you and move on to the next girl.
Exactly.
Like, that's terrifying.
And it's the same, that links just to social media as well. If your life is based on social media, which unfortunately, again, as stupid as that may sound to some people who aren't into this sort of industry, like, we have to rely on social media to promote all of our businesses and all of our jobs, whatever. If you're ill, even for a day, sometimes it can really set you back and fuck you over. So it is scary. And I guess, people who have real jobs, quotation marks for those on Spotify.
I think this is a real job. I've been told
this is a real job.
I've been told so much recently, get a real job. Yeah. Get a real job. I'm like, okay, but what counts to you as a real job? Yeah. And every single time I ask that to someone, they don't respond.
No, exactly.
Because they don't even know. No, I don't think. No. They make the comment, they don't even know how to answer it.
People say that about modelling and stuff as well, and I've had this conversation with like makeup artists, because people, even in the creative industry, get that, and it's like, well, hang on. Do you watch television? Yeah, okay. So you watch those actors and actresses. Is that not a real job? If they didn't do that, you would have no TV, no television to watch. And also the makeup artists that are doing their makeup for the show that you're watching. Oh, modelling. Oh, you're driving through town. You go into Gymshark and there's posters on the wall. You go and shop, yes? Oh, you shop online. But you know what I mean? There's so
100%.
much in it. And I think that's really annoying because OnlyFans comes into this as well. Do you watch porn? Yes. Like,
yes,
people watch
do.
porn. And at the end of the day, like, maybe not everybody does, but there's always parts of it that you don't realise that you need these people in life. And so it is a real job. That's where I was going.
But they say that, like, sex work is one of the oldest industries.
Yeah.
It's been around for absolute centuries. And it's like, well, it's just changed so much that now it's online. It's so easily accessible to people everywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like the thing is, men like watching it for free. They don't like paying for it.
Yeah.
So if they see a girl is profiting from her body, they absolutely fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I want to watch it for free. I'm entitled for it to be free.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
well, you're not.
Yeah.
Because porn has never ever been free. All these models that you've all watched and stuff on Pornhub, they've still got paid for the job.
Yeah.
And like the filming crew, they've still got paid for the fucking job.
Yeah.
So like the porn that you're watching was not free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they have an issue with OnlyFans, they should have an issue with Pornhub. They should have an issue with all these porn websites because all those models on there have been paid as well. Like, we're being paid for our bodies as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, fucking dumb.
It is. No, it definitely is. And as I say, it's becoming way more common now as well. So just people need to accept it. Cool.
They do.
Thanks.
And honestly, I don't think it's going anywhere. I remember a few years ago, though, OnlyFans announced that they were going to just scrub all sex off their site. Do you remember that?
I don't.
That was insane. So they put out a statement being like, we're no longer going to be allowing like sexual activity, so sex, anything relating to sex. Basically, any sexual acts, they were banning across their entire site, which obviously was going to slash their business.
Yeah, that's
like
a stupid
90%.
move.
It was the most dumbest move ever. But when they noticed that how bad it was going to be for their business, they reversed their decision and was like, no, we're keeping it.
That's
and
mental. I didn't know that.
I want to say it was about a year ago, 2 years ago now, because so many models literally just jumped over to Fansly. They jumped over to other different sites and they were like, oh.
Was this around the time of the whole Bella Thorne thing?
Yes, I think it was. I think
Was
it
it
was
about
just
that?
after. Possibly.
Because that definitely had an impact on, like, if people don't know, I can't remember what actually happened. I think Bella Thorne is obviously just such a massive influencer, an influence to people, that she was selling stuff, and maybe that she was exaggerating a few of the posts she was doing.
I think
and
that
making
was it,
some,
though.
Yeah,
I think she sold something for like $300 or something extremely expensive. And she didn't deliver on it.
It wasn't what she said it was, essentially.
So loads of people got scammed and it was like a massive like,
Yeah.
fuck OnlyFans, fuck Bella Thorne, and and then they put a cap on, you can't sell PPV for over 200.
Yeah, and this is where, like no hate against, I love Bella Thorne.
I think she's so hot.
I absolutely love her. So there's no hate to her at all here. But I think, obviously I don't actually know what actually happened deep down, but this is what I think the gist of it. Yeah. But now, there's a cap on OnlyFans PPVs, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is, I guess. But I think
there was another scandal as
Oh,
well.
really?
There was a YouTuber, I can't remember her name, I think it was like Gabby something. I feel like some of our listeners might know what I'm on about. But there was a girl called Gabby and she put a PPV up and the caption was like, always topless or something along those lines. She's like, I'm always topless, whatever.
Yeah.
And the picture, fucking disgusting. I remember this happening and I felt revolted about it. The picture itself was her when she was like 6 years old, topless.
No.
She was either 6 or younger. I want to say she was a child. She was like a literal child. And you know when you're a child, like you don't really care. You have your top off and you run around the house. Whatever. Her parents had taken a photo of her like as a child topless, and she sold it as a PPV on OnlyFans, being like, oh, I was always topless or something along those lines. So when people unlocked it expecting to see her topless, they just saw a child.
That's really
I think she got banned from the platform.
I feel like she probably didn't mean that in that sort, like she didn't think. That's how I feel like what she did there.
But like she put it behind a paywall though, so surely she must have known. And she
that
knew
was
what,
just so
when
fucked.
she wrote the caption, she would have known people were going to buy it, thinking that she was going to
clickbait, but not.
It was clickbait, but a child.
But just so bad.
It was disgusting. There was absolutely no excuse, no reasoning. She did like an apology video crying. And I was like, there was absolutely
wrong.
Like, just get off the fucking internet. Like, that's disgusting. Ugh. And I will always remember that story because it was so big.
That's
and
mental.
Obviously, it made OnlyFans look really, really bad.
Yeah.
Because it was essentially child pornography.
Yeah.
Like, it was child
people
pornography.
are unlocking it, expecting to see a girl with maybe a tits out and to, you know, have a good time. And then this child appears.
It's disgusting, isn't it? It's absolutely revolting.
That's so bad.
Yeah, but a lot of scandals like that have happened on OnlyFans. But
that's mental.
I will always, you know, support OnlyFans, and like I love the platform. I think the staff behind it as well have always been so helpful for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm talking from personal experience. If I ever have an issue with OnlyFans, I can message them and they reply straight away.
That's good.
Like, they've always been so supportive, so helpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like even when they were like, we're going to stop doing the sex thing and that, I was like, that's fine. I'm completely okay. My account's okay. And a lot of people were changing because they were annoyed. But I was like, I'm going to stay with OnlyFans. Like, I've got no issue with them. What they want to do with their business, whatever, don't really affect me that much.
Yeah.
And I was always going to support them regardless. I love the platform. I think it's given me so much freedom and, well, a lot of income. And yeah, I mean, I love the platform itself.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying being on there at the moment, actually. Like, as I've said, it's still quite a fresh thing this year, like the amount I'm actually doing it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun platform. It's easy to use. It's
She's selling it now.
Selling
it. Guys, get on OnlyFans.
For, you know, us dumb girlies. No,
dumb girlies.
Yeah. It is a good platform. No, I agree. I've never really, I am on Playboy as well.
Yes.
So, but I don't honestly use that as much now that I'm growing on OnlyFans. I am using that as my main platform. I do post on Playboy, and that's really cool that I'm a part of that. But I've never really used any others. I think I signed up to Fansly, but I just didn't use it. So it's just too much for my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, OnlyFans is my biggest platform now, and it's growing. So.
And it's so well known. I feel like everyone knows OnlyFans. If you say, I've started OnlyFans, people are automatically going to click on it thinking that you're doing nudity.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well known for that. And I feel like a lot of people put their trust into OnlyFans. I think that's what a lot of girls found difficult when they were trying to change platforms. Yeah. That people weren't coming over with them. Yeah. Because people trusted OnlyFans. They used OnlyFans. They were happy with it. They didn't want to get used to another platform. Yeah. So that's what I find. That's what I hear anyway when like other girls are talking about it. Like, a lot of their customer base is OnlyFans strictly. Yeah. So I get it though. I love the platform, and I mean, I'm a fan. Love you, OnlyFans. Love it. Have you had anything bad happen to you yet? I'll say yet because it's inevitable, but like men, stalkers, crazy people, anything along those lines?
I wouldn't say I've really had anything as bad as that. I've had, the one thing is having people sign up, and sometimes you can hide your name on there, but some people don't. Like, everyone wants a nose, everyone wants a stalk on there. I get it. And I don't actually care, to be honest. At the end of the day, if you want to go on there and pay me money, be my guest. But if you're quite close to me or like message me on there, as you know me, I'm a bit like, oh, this is a bit awkward because I'm sending certain stuff out and it's a bit like, okay then. But I mean, again, it is what it is. Like, I went on there knowing that this is possibly going to happen, so you kind of just have to get past that thought. But no, in terms of like stalkers and stuff like that, I don't think I have. I've had a few people message like through my Instagram, like about my location and stuff, like on questions. I'm getting a lot more of that now. Yeah. And that's a bit like, okay, this is scary. I think I'm gonna have to stop posting things in real time, because that's the one thing you kind of forget. Like, if you post where you are, like, people can fucking come and find you.
Oh yeah, it's so easy.
And you don't really think, like, it's not like I'm massive on anything, but it's getting to the point where people are messaging me about like on, you know, the Q&As and stuff like that. People are like, oh yeah, oh, what's your location? Whose location have you got? And all this. And I'm a bit like,
why are you asking?
Why do you want to know?
Yeah.
I'm a brummie. That's as much as you're getting. But that was such a bad accent. I'm so not a brummie. It's so funny. But yeah, that's probably where I'm kind of at now. And yeah, I mean, you've got some stories,
like
haven't you?
I don't know why people just want to be knobheads. I feel like it's so easy not to be a knobhead, but people just choose the wrong path. But yeah, no, I feel like I've had everything that could have possibly been done. Say like leaking videos, photos. I've had people putting things through my letterbox, which is why I moved out of my first flat. I've had people send videos and photos to my siblings before, which, you know, is not very nice. I don't want to see that. Bit weird how you tried to send it to my brother. Like, is that an incest thing?
Hey, step bro.
Do you have like an incest kink? I don't even know, but fucking weird.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I feel like I've had a bit of everything thrown at me.
Yeah.
That it's got to the point now where I have dealt with everything.
Yeah.
That now I've become so numb to it that if someone messaged me like, oh, your stuff is leaked on this site, I'm like, okay, great.
Sick. Enjoy.
Enjoy it, whatever. Like, I've got a cyber team, so they work on getting everything taken down. I think that's so important to have as well. And if I have any safety issues or anything, they're there.
That's so
and
good.
They've had a case recently where they have gone and sued people who have leaked other content created stuff, and they've won. So that puts me a lot. I feel a lot of trust in them, because if, say, I found out who was leaking my stuff, then it would be easy to bring like a court case against them. I've got the funds for it. I'm fucking ready. Take me on. Yeah. So it's one of those, like, you just have to work out how you want to deal with it. You know, like, the bad stuff will happen. And it's sad how we have to deal with that in our jobs, because at the end of the day, we are just putting a roof over our fucking heads, and we are just putting clothes on our back, and that is it. So, like, we are just trying to survive, and we're trying to live just like everyone else in this godforsaken world, and we shouldn't get penalized, like, mentally and physically for doing so, because it's not fucking fair. And I think if you are one of these people who, I don't know, just wants to bring women down for how they are with their bodies, what they want to do with their bodies, and how we want to represent ourselves, then probably take a long, hard look in the mirror. You know, because what we are doing isn't affecting you. It's not hurting you.
Nope.
It's not sort of targeting you. It's not, you know, we're not causing any issues in society. We are paying our taxes. We are helping, you know, companies and all this stuff. It's not,
we're just working like everyone else.
And the amount of taxes I paid this year, you don't even want to know. Like, I'd like to think I'm helping society in doing so. So there we go. But at the same time, people have an issue with OnlyFans girls because of what we choose to do with our lives. And at the same time, our lives aren't affecting yours.
No, yeah, exactly. Like, if it was, then yeah, I'd understand. But it's just 100% not. Yeah. Like, if you don't like something, just don't look at it.
Scroll away.
But I mean, let's be honest, you're probably gonna like what you see. So, just
get on it.
Click the like button, subscribe.
Yeah. But yeah, it is just one of those things, and it is sad how girls have to deal with the shit as well. Yeah. Because people say, oh, it's an easy job, you're choosing an easy way out, and I mean, I didn't feel like it was easy when I was getting my nudes posted through my letterbox, because that was fucking scary. Let me tell you that. I ended up moving
weird.
2 months later. I moved out straight away, but I had the police involved. There were, you know what I was really impressed with? How good the police were at dealing with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like any other sort of person who was new to it, they might look at that and be like, well, I don't want to show anyone. I don't want to tell anyone about this. I don't want to, like, you know, show anyone the photos that got posted through my letterbox. But the first thing I did was rang the police. Yeah. I was like, guys, you never guess what's happened to me here. And they came round and I was like, look at the photos. This is what's been delivered through my door. Like, I have no issues with taking the right channels for justice. Yeah. And it's not something that I should have to deal with. No one should have to deal with that.
No, that's so wrong. Like,
it is awful.
That's so scary.
It is, but I'm pretty sure it was my neighbour, which is even weirder. Pretty sure, obviously, allegedly. But yeah, it was weird, and I don't think anyone should have to go through that, no matter what they do, especially with their own bodies as well. Yeah. Like, why are you trying to scare? Like, it's a fucking body. Have you never seen like a woman before? Have you ever seen like a diagram of a woman? Because if you have, then like you shouldn't really be affected by boobs and a vagina. Like, think about how small we are on planet Earth. Yeah. Right. and you're worried about the tiniest thing.
Literally,
Think about pollution instead. You know, think about global warming.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about girls online that you're getting triggered over.
Boobs.
Yeah, like
A bit of boob.
if you don't like boob, just saying it, because I do. I love boobs.
I love boobs.
If you hate women, just say.
I just kind of back to like, it's not just necessarily guys or whatever though. Like, I feel like it's really bitchy as well. Like just so many people have opinions on it, and it's so wrong that we're judging people without actually knowing them as well. And like, I feel like we're really down to earth, and
we're great.
We're pretty normal. We're not actually horrible people, and so we don't deserve to be looked at in that sort of way. Like, just because, as you say, we're putting a roof over our heads and living our fucking lives. But I don't know. Like, I guess the other kind of thing with it as well, like relationships and stuff like that, like how have you found, you've obviously been on it properly longer than I have, but how have you found it in like relationships or like dating or whatever? Have you ever had anyone really be like, I'm not going to be with you if you do this? Or
I think there are people out there who are strictly like, oh, I can never have a girlfriend with an OnlyFans. But I've been quite lucky in the fact that I think no one who I've dated really cares. I think as well, because I've been doing it for so long. I feel like it's different if you're in a relationship and then halfway through you're like, oh, actually, I want to do
then
this.
It's something to maybe discuss.
I would understand. But if someone knows me and they know I do it, and then they try and come into my life and be like, oh, by the way, can you stop this? I don't want to date you if not. I'm like, okay, like, get the fuck out.
This is a part of me. If you don't like this, then
it's like you won't get into a relationship and then say, oh, can you stop doing work? Just stay at home instead. Like, no woman's gonna. Well, some women maybe. If like someone came into my life who was an absolute multi-millionaire, was like, I'll pay for you to stay at home. Maybe I get it.
Then sure.
Equality. What is that? But I feel like at this point, if someone came to me, they're like, I'm not gonna date you if you carry on. I'm gonna be like, well,
bye.
Unless you're paying my bills, then it's not gonna happen.
No.
Like, why would I stop? Why would I lose my income and get like a pay decrease? I'm not gonna go and work minimum wage somewhere. Not that.
No,
you're joking me.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen. What about you though?
No, I'm the same. Yeah, I've been quite lucky. I did start it like midway through a relationship, but it was my long-term one. So, and he was absolutely fine with it. It didn't cause any problems. It was just more me. I was on and off, and I kind of like, I'm just going to dabble in it. But I mean, this year, since like everyone knows I do it now, and it's very heavily promoted on my socials. So yeah, if you come to me and if you turn around and you're like, no, we're not going to date because you do OnlyFans, then fuck you. Like, at the end of the day, this is what I do now and I'm pushing it, and I'm not going to stop doing that just because you're not happy about it. I want to be with someone who likes me for who I am and what I do. And also, I'd like to think you'd want to get to know me as well. I'm not just an OnlyFans girl. Like, I own businesses, I do multiple things, and do you know what I mean? And again, no, like, if you just do OnlyFans, there's no hate against
Absolutely
it. Like, it's a business in itself, and it's a full-time job. Like, there should be no judgment on it, really. No, you should be allowed to do what you want.
Completely agree. I also understand when guys are like, I could never date an OnlyFans girl, because if that's your sort of boundary, then you are well within your right to do so.
Yeah, of course.
You are allowed to say, I do not want to date an OnlyFans girl. Like, whatever. Sounds double standards, but I don't think I could date a guy who does OnlyFans.
Really?
Which is wild to say, isn't it? Because obviously I do it, but I don't think I could do. I do dating. I don't think I could date someone who does OnlyFans or like porn in general. I don't think. But I guess that's my boundary, and I guess you could say double standards. Maybe it's double.
I don't think it's double standard. I think it's just what you're comfortable with, and at the end of the day,
I guess they're collaborating with other people.
Yeah, like,
because I wouldn't. Well, I guess with you we've like collaborated, but like at the same time, it's really hard though, because I don't want to say you're a girl, so it's okay.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know, if I was seeing a guy and he was actively going out and having sex with people for content, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, because that's not something that I would do.
But I guess that's something that you and that person would speak about and talk about your boundaries with each other, and then go, what are you comfortable with? What are you comfortable with? And you work it out. Do you know what I mean? If you're happy to work it out between yourselves, then that's fine. At the end of the day, it's just what you're both comfortable with. And I think that really does matter. I don't think there's a right or wrong in this. It is just down to you as a couple, what you're comfortable with each other doing. That's what it comes down to.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Also, as well, recently, I had an Instagram reel go, like, pop off a little bit. It had, I don't know if it's viral. It had, like, 2.7 million, which is a lot better than a lot of my other content.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
that's
that
nice.
for free.
That's good. A good amount.
But another thing that people were saying on it was that, what about your future children? Like, what would you do when they get bullied at school? And I have such an opinion on this, right?
Go on, hit me.
Because say we're back at school, you know? Did you know what your best friend's mom did as a job?
No.
No. I didn't either. I didn't know what any of my friends' parents did for a living at all.
And I wouldn't even, maybe I did back then, but I didn't
don't even think I knew any of their names. I don't even think I knew any of their parents' names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yeah.
So when I think about it, right, is that if I have a child and they go to school, how would people know? How would the children know?
Yeah.
Unless they got influenced by someone who was of age and
they
had
went
seen the content.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so why would my kids get bullied?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have been able to access the content anyway.
Yeah.
So that's what I found really interesting, because they're actively saying, like, well, your kids are going to get bullied. I'm like, okay, but who's going to show the kids that are going to bully my kids my content? Because the people that have to show the kids are going to be of age.
Yeah,
so you're telling me that you're going to show your kids porn?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's
a red flag.
Definitely. No, I agree, to be fair. And it's not like I'm going to be walking around a playground with my tits hanging out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. I don't even do that now.
No, any normal day.
Well, if you not even just playgrounds, anywhere.
Anywhere, if you see me, I'm in a hoodie normally. I'm in a little hoodie, and I am the most little gremlin thing you've ever seen, ever. And if I was taking my kids to school, that is how I'd look. I would not look how I look online. No. That's what we do for work. Do you know what I mean?
How would they even be able to put two and two together?
Yeah, and if they did, then that says more about them.
It says more about their parents.
Yeah, exactly. That's nothing really to do with us.
Yeah.
Like,
I know for a fact, if I ever have children, I am going to bring them up to be non-judgmental, open-minded, fucking just nice kids.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would teach them right from wrong. I would teach them not to bully other people, not to be assholes. And respect everyone's point of view. And if they do not agree with something, have a discussion. Yeah. Learn, talk about it, educate yourself, and everything like that, right? Definitely. So if you're actively going around telling people that my kids are going to get bullied for something that I do, then I highly suggest you teach your kids not to bully.
Yeah.
Like, that's the end. Yeah. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah. No, literally, no, I completely agree. I think that's a really good point. I've heard similar things like, people tend to say a lot like, oh, what about your future children? Like, and this content is going to be online forever and stuff. And it's like, well,
I'm going to be dead one day.
I'm going to be dead one day. And you know what? I already fucking model as it is anyway. And I've done underwear photos. Like, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, this is what I'm doing now. I might still be doing that if I have kids. I might not be doing it when I have kids. It doesn't matter. But I think that's way down in the list of priorities of when you have kids. Like, there's you've got to teach them to be a good person, as you say. Like, it's who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck?
Of course, it's like your content's going to be online forever. What you share is going to be online forever. It's like, okay, but I'm not going to be around forever.
Good.
Do you think I'm going to care that people are still seeing my tits when I'm dead? No, because they're fucking amazing tits. Yeah. So, like, you're welcome.
I still hope there's money flowing in my bank account when I'm dead.
I hope, yeah. Like, you know what? If people are still buying the content and we're dead, it will go towards our children.
It will go in our kids' bank accounts. You are welcome.
And they'll be happy.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, who cares? We are literally little specks on this earth.
Yeah.
We are really irrelevant, I want to say. We're relevant to the greater world. Who cares? Like, who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
As long as everyone's happy, everyone's, consented, and everything's safe, and you're not hurting anyone by doing it, I don't think it should be an issue at all. I think everyone should just be happy and respect other people, and just if you don't agree with the job and if you don't respect the job, just shut up.
Yeah,
because you don't need to talk on something that you don't agree with.
No,
you don't need to have that opinion. No one asked for that opinion.
Yeah,
and as well, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it.
No, exactly. I completely agree. And I think one day we're going to make sexy MILFs, so it doesn't even matter, really.
Oh my
does
God,
it?
imagine.
We're going to be
Sexy MILFs.
sexy MILFs.
With our tits hanging by our knees. And then it'll be like dangling, then we could tie it up and then whack over our shoulders.
Yeah.
And there'll be a market for that.
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that is the episode today.
I think if we don't stop now, again, we're just gonna go on for ages.
We are.
So
I could talk to you for a lifetime.
Oh, babe.
Shall we just get married?
Yeah.
That sounds great. I'm ready.
Done. We're gonna get married. See you later.
So yes, that was today's episode, everyone. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Again, if you guys have any thoughts on today's episode, anything you want to add to the conversation, please let us know. Obviously, our DMs are always open for you, especially you guys. We love you. So yeah, honestly, any last final thoughts?
I don't think so. No. I think that's good. I've enjoyed that episode.
We love you all.
We love you.
And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of the Unhinged Girl Diaries.